Call this meeting to order, determine that there's a quorum present, Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Flores, and myself, we have a quorum. Commissioner Flores, if you'll lead us in the pledge of allegiance, a flag behind you, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You like on purpose. Approving minutes, we have none?
Move.
We have none?
Oh, no more.
No move.
No move.
Citizens' comments, we have none. Moving monthly reports from elected officials.
Move.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0 vote. Approving bills for payment.
Move.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Auditors report, item 8. Matt, there's no surprises?
No surprises.
Okay.
Motion approved.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Discussion possible action on the following reimbursements from general fund to grant account for Texas CDBG 7220479 Alcoa Fields for $236.81 from available appropriations. Matt,
We just went over budget on this and we're just taking care of it.
take it out of contingency.
Sounds good?
Motion. Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Real quick, that way Leslie can go. We're gonna go to item 56, if y'all don't mind, discussion of possible approval of Walk Across Texas Health Initiative. Leslie?
Good morning. I came to talk about a health initiative that Dana Iowa Extension has started here in Albuquerque County. This is a countywide health initiative, and it is a walking competition that happens in the months of January and February. And what we're doing is we are encouraging businesses, entities, and individuals to form teams of 8 and to try and walk through Texas. What I am presenting today is that, or requesting is that we present this to the department heads of the county, so that they can form teams by department. This would also coincide with a health initiative that Huntington already has going
Through TAC?
with the county, so we'll double up.
So what you're asking for is just to go ahead and allow Juanita to send out to all the departments so they can begin to form teams, in order to be able to compete in this. The money that you get, Juanita, that we get back from TAC for our health, and would it be possible maybe to put a little money aside out of that for whoever wins in the county, like, first place? Is that money available for that? Since it is for health and fitness and all
That's
that?
for the part of the free general appropriations. That money already is set aside. If you want to set aside
A little piece of it?
money to set aside, we can do that. How much?
I don't know, a couple $100, like whoever wins first place, the first place team? Is that too much? $100? That'd be okay? I need a motion to
from Judge. Second.
have a motion, and that is for the employees of the county. Is that correct, Commissioner? I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a great day. That wasn't that bad, was it? Item 10, requesting for postage of $5,998 from available appropriations. We have contingency money. This is for postage on the individuals that, we overcharged.
I'll make a motion that, we get the $3,492.89 from.
5,000.
I'm sorry, yeah, okay, $5,998 from, contingency. Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 11, requesting for office supplies for checks and envelopes in the amount of $3,492.89 from available appropriations. Also, I would suggest we get this out of contingency.
Motion to get from contingency.
I have a motion, Commissioner
Second.
Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
4-0 vote. Y'all will be sent this afternoon, I was gonna send the one I got in this morning, didn't have a chance, but y'all will be sent a list of everybody that will be receiving funds. A list of everybody that will be receiving funds and the dollar amount they will be receiving. My understanding this afternoon, the school has a meeting, and they are being presented with the same information, to approve, reimbursement, or to give us monies back that we've already sent to them to begin the reimbursement process.
And make it clear, this will be refundable funds, not tax credit.
Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Judge, what can we do to see if this doesn't have to be?
What we talked about, in the meeting that we had before is that we will print ballots, or not ballots. We're in election mode. Tax statements, yeah. But you'll take care of the ballots, right? Yeah. Okay. We will make sure that the tax statements are printed, and that everybody reviews them and checks off on the actual dollar amount that is on the tax statement for each entity. Not just send out, a request or just rely on them sending it to us, but actually print one out. This is what we discussed about a couple of weeks ago, was that we would print one out, send it to the, all the taxing entities, and then have them sign off on it.
This one?
Okay. Treasury report, there is none. Discussion on immigrants, again, they're still coming. We had a discussion last week, and these are, 2021 fiscal years, starting October and November, and 2020 is when the fiscal year 2021 started. Border Patrol had put out about 17,000 and change that were apprehended in 2020. To give y'all an example, this year it was 17,000 then. This year, starting fiscal year 2021, 2022, October, November of 2021, it was 57,000 and change. So we went from 17,000 the previous year to 57,000 in a 2-month span. So when it's growing, folks. It's growing.
Getaways?
Huh?
What about the getaways?
Well, and it's one of those deals that you can throw numbers out there, but you really can't tell, because the ones that you're catching on cameras or whatever, that they're saying, okay, these are the ones that got away because we know we didn't catch these, but that number is not even a good one, because you're not seeing everybody that is not walking through where they have cameras. So I don't know, Commissioner, I don't know. They give us a number every now and then. I really don't know how they do that, for the simple reason that number to me would have to be low. But it's really difficult, Jesus Christ, because if you knew where they were getting away from, you'd go get them, right? But they do give us a number, and they do say, I don't know how that can be accurate, anywhere close to being accurate. Our numbers are, they're continuing here. The one that's having issues right now is down in Eagle Pass. That area there right now is grown. I do have a meeting with, the mayor of Mexico. One of his assistants called, Sunday, and then we visited a bit again yesterday. We're gonna try to meet, Thursday. He is meeting with the mayor from Mexico is meeting with the governor of Coahuila, hopefully today or tomorrow, and then we're supposed to meet, Thursday, and they just want to discuss everything, immigrants, COVID, the vaccine, just everything and anything. So it's the new mayor, my understanding, it's not the old one.
But is Mexico gonna help us with the immigrant situation? I mean, to stop them or send them
I
back?
can tell you that during what we went through in September, if the governor of Coahuila and the other mayors had not stepped up and slowed down the buses and slowed down that process, we'd still be hauling people out. So hopefully, they will help. I do think that what is going to help us now is that we have my understanding, a new mayor in Acuna. So I think that's going to help us. And answer your question, Commissioner, I don't know. And the truth is, you know, that even if they wanted to, I think their hands are tied to a certain point. Any other questions on item 13? Item 14, discussion matters relating to COVID. We have another item here on item 15 that we'll go to in a minute. Our numbers are high. Our active cases have gone through the roof. All our testing sites have been overwhelmed. I think it's stat. At one point, I had individuals that had gone to go get tested to go get tested, and they were waiting out in their cars for 2 to 3 hour wait. And I'm not throwing rocks at stat. I'm not throwing rocks at all these testing sites. They are completely and utterly overwhelmed. It's just been unreal. Some of the results have been, they've not been timely in coming back to us. But again, it's not at any fault of the individuals doing the testing. It isn't just in Valverde County that we've had a surge or had a spike. It's been everywhere. So if they were sent off, these tests were sent off somewhere, everybody's doing the same thing. It's, you know.
What about these home visit kits? Are they effective, or how's that sound?
I can tell you that we went this weekend, I guess like to Walmart and to HEB. There was none available. They're gone. Everybody's using them. We've had false negatives and we've had false positives. But I can't tell you whether they're good or bad. I would hope that they serve their purpose and at least get you to go take another test. Do they help? I think they do, Commissioner. I really do. We've had family members or people that are close to us that have gone to go test that have been that have had a positive. So everybody sort of, you know, he quarantined and a couple of them quarantined and then, you know, they went to go test at stat or at the hospital, waited a little bit, and they came back and they were negative. And I've also had people that have tested negative. Heck, we had a couple of them the other day that tested at the center there at City of Del Rio, where the transportation yard's at, tested. We've had some that, you know, 2 Fridays ago that there was 3 people that tested in the morning, tested negative. That afternoon, all 3 of them felt terrible, and Saturday morning felt just horrible, went to go get tested, and by Sunday, all 3 of them were positive. Again, you know, if you're having the symptoms, if you test negative and you're having a lot of symptoms and still feel terrible, I should go get retested. You know, use a little bit of common sense, but I think they serve their purpose. I think they serve their purpose. And again, I talk circles a little bit because I really truly don't have a clear answer. Yeah.
You have.
Well, I'm sorry. If you don't mind, we'll go to item 35. We're going to go from item 14 to item 35. It says discussion of possible action on ARPA money and reclassification if necessary. Matt, if you'll give us an insight as to what we're doing on this and what has happened in the last week with guidelines. We can move up to the 10,000,
10,000, yes. The new rules came out, not last Thursday, but Thursday before that, 430-page document came out. Basically, the gist for us, tier 5, since we were below $10 million below population, that $10 million will be able to move to general revenue loss without doing a calculation, so we had an audible. So the play on that is typically probably to move that to general fund, and we will have to commit those funds to government services. They will have to be expended or contracted, be spent by 24 or contracted to be spent by end of 26. So that is probably the best way to go as opposed to running these testing sites and the nurses through ARPA, because this takes it away from federal line.
So, and The short of it is, we put together, the ARPA committee put together a list of funds and how we would allocate the first chunk of money. The court voted on that. But now since the rules have changed, I would ask that the court vote to move any funds that we receive from ARPA into the general fund, and then have the ARPA committee meet and bring back a recommendation on how those funds would be spent in order for the court to vote on it. And it gives us a little bit more leeway as to what those funds can be spent on. There is another item in here to move $350,000 per precinct. I'm gonna ask when we get to that, probably that we table it, because it's all put together. But since it's changed, since the focus has changed and the regulations have changed on the ARPA money, if we could move whatever funds we receive from ARPA into the general fund and then bring back recommendations for the court to vote on as to how those funds would be used.
I'll make a motion to move on.
Probably wise judge to rescind the prior vote before you enter the meeting.
Okay, so let's do this. I need one motion to rescind the previous court order, and then we'll jump off on the second one. Thank you.
Motion to rescind.
Second.
I have a motion to rescind Commissioner Wardlow, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0 vote. Commissioner Wardlow, you had a comment? You started to say something? That was it? Okay. I need another motion to move any funds.
I'll make a motion to move all ARPA money to the general funds.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0 vote. All right. Item 15. Now, in saying that, I need to set aside, or I'm asking, not need, I'm asking the court to set aside about $150,000 out of the money that we just set aside to begin testing clinics and vaccine clinics to help with those expenses. We have not set any money aside in the previous budget.
What item was that, Judge?
Item 15, I'm sorry, discussion possible action on COVID-19 staff is needed for testing clinics and vaccine clinics. I would ask that out of the money that we just set aside in the general fund, that we set aside $150,000.
I'll make a motion that we move $150,000 from the general funds for testing clinics.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Discussion possible action on COVID testing. I would ask, I know that there was some testing done in the courthouse. The only thing that I would ask is, when we go to do this again, if we would make sure that there's a plan in place as to if somebody tests positive, what's going to be the plan if somebody tests positive. There was some conflict and we had an individual that had tested positive. The individual that had tested her, didn't know what to do after they tested positive. So if we'll just sort of all be on the same page, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, no action needed. I would just gladly appreciate it if we could all communicate with them. Thank you. Item 17, discussion possible action to request for proposals for battered woman shelter. We had gone out to request for proposals and we got one application. I would ask that maybe we rewrite a set of proposals and go out again for the battered woman shelter.
Is now joining the conference.
Who is it? Okay. Item 17, discussion possible action to request for proposals for battered woman shelter. I need the authorization to go out again.
Motion to approve, Judge. Go out for proposals.
I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 18, discussion possible action on the fairgrounds. On this one here, I put it on there because there's been some discussions on the fencing, on what we're going to do on fencing. I know that Commissioner Nettleton on the back part had asked if we could do, metal fencing on the back. His vision is if we could do on 15th Street, I guess metal tin fencing, and then maybe have some of these committees or some of these groups from the school or something, maybe paint a mural or something of horses or the Rams or support the Queens or whatever on 15th Street And then, one of the things up front on Main Street was either, to go in and do something different as to, I think Commissioner Flores, you had said y'all were gonna do rock or brick, maybe if y'all stuff, some type of design like that up front. But that was a whole lot, the whole thing behind discussion, possible action on the fairground.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we move the proposed, sports center from the fairgrounds to the SC ranch.
Okay, I was broad enough for that, so I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, the motion was to move the sports complex to the SC Ranch.
We still don't have the money, right? We still don't have the money for that.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, we do have the money?
You know I'm gonna have to bring this back to us again. And you're fixing to plant 700 kids out at the SC Ranch, but the SC Ranch was bought in order to protect Lockwood. So at any given time, you're gonna have 700 to 1,200 kids out there in danger of the airplanes. So I'm completely against this. And if we go down this road, I will do everything in my powers to move all the damn horses from this fairground because of all the shit that we've got out there. Now, we've been trying to play nice, and it is gonna be a vote, it'll be a 3-1 vote, but you are fixing to risk the lives of over 1,000 kids on any given weekend. And if y'all are willing to do this, this is on y'all.
Risk in what way, Judge?
The reason we bought the SC Ranch was to protect Lockwood because of the amount of planes that fly over, okay? And we did not want development out there, okay? But if y'all are willing to do this, it is a 3-1 vote. And I'm gonna take a roll call, and I'm gonna vote against it. But in my opinion, you are putting all 1,000 people, all 1,000 kids at any given weekend will play out there at risk. And I think it's a shame that we're doing this.
Just, fairgrounds is right next to the airport, same,
No, sir, it's totally different. You don't have the flights that you have coming out of Lockwood.
but I respectfully disagree.
Okay. All in favor, Commissioner Wardlaw, how do you vote? Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Commissioner Vasquez?
Yes.
I vote no, James. It's a 3-1 vote. This vote right here, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I take this very personal. Y'all have opened up a can of worms that for the rest of the year will be unbearable for all of us. Not a threat, fucking promise. Item 19, discussion possible action to remind all elected officials that any grants being applied for need to come before the court. This item was put on here especially for you, Commissioner Flores.
Yeah, I didn't apply for no grant, okay?
You're
I
going
talked
through
to
the
people
process.
that
Let me
live.
speak, and then it will all get a chance. Okay? When you go to talk, I promise you I'll be quiet.
Okay. That'll work.
If we go out and ask for funds for anything, or go that process, you need to come before the court. That's my only comment, Commissioner Flores.
Okay, let me answer to that. My answer to that is that I didn't go out there and apply for a grant. I talked to a group of people, they're gonna go look for money. Once they find the money, then I can apply for the grant money. But I did not apply for grant money. Just to set the record straight.
Anything else, Commissioner Flores?
That's it.
Item 20, discussion possible action to approve the 2022 membership for Texas Association of Counties and funds to come out of membership dues. We have an account that's called membership dues, and I need a motion to approve those funds.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. We're gonna take a little 15-minute break. Y'all don't mind. Yes. Thank you, sir. Item 21, discussion possible action to approve 2022 membership for Ports to Plains and funds to come out of membership dues. The Ports to Plains, that's a committee that the county belongs to, the one that's doing the new road. are supposedly doing the highway.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 22, discussion possible action on the lease agreement with Homicide Bank for Veterans Office. We have, I need authority to negotiate with them. We have a lease agreement with the building behind Amistad, where the Veterans Office is at. There was a question, I think it was a 12-month agreement. We've already gone past that, and then there was a question on who was supposed to be paying for repairs, so we need to clarify that, and then if y'all don't mind, need authority to sign it.
Motion to give the judge authority to discuss and sign the agreement with Amistad Bank.
Second. Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 23, discussion of possible action on lease agreement. We can table that one if y'all don't mind, and we'll bring it back to the court later.
Motion to table.
Have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 24, discussion possible action on lease agreement with Durham Little League beginning March 1st, 2022 through August 1st, 2022, and planting grass in the infield. Is there somebody here from Little League?
I'm actually here with the Little Patriots organization. The reason that I'm here is just to see if we can initially see a co-op deals.
Okay, so that's something else, is that something else on the lease, I think there was a lease agreement on that.
I think so, but we're waiting until today to discuss it here. But as far as the planting the grass in the infield, would this be on Field of Dream for the Veterans? Or is this somewhere else?
No, this one right here, I put my glasses on, so I don't talk about it. This one here is on the fields that are on, Frontera Road. It's the two Little League fields that are on Frontera Road. There's 3 of them there, one on softball, and the other 2 are,
Correct, so those are the ones that we use just during our.
yes, the regular season. What we were visiting with yesterday, is that the grass is, if I get this right, $275 per pallet. For the infield, probably a couple $1,000. I'll tell you right now, let me look at it. About 7 pallets. And I probably look at, what they said is that, as of last night, the Little League said that if we buy the grass, they'd help us plant the grass in the 2 Little League fields. And first of all, if we're gonna approve, if we're gonna approve the lease, a motion to approve the lease, and if y'all wanna provide them with grass and a little bit of help to do the infields, that would be the cost of around $4,500.
And where would the money come from, Judge, if we were to?
We could do it out of, the building maintenance, it's building maintenance and, parks and fairgrounds and all that's put together.
Okay, I'll put a motion in.
Sir?
Which part is that?
It's the baseball fields on Frontera Road. The 2 baseball fields, there's 3 of them that are lit, 2 of them that are used for Little League, that have grass in the infield, it's pretty bad. So they're asking for, different type of grass.
The rest of them,
No, and they've always, they appreciate everything that the county does for them. They really do. So, for one, we'll approve the lease, and then 2, if we can set aside about $4,500, it'd be great.
I'll make a motion, Judge.
I think one already done. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I need a second. Second. I have a motion by Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 25, discussion possible action on the insurance money on the fairgrounds. This was just to give y'all an update. We've set aside $932,000 of insurance money. We spent $306. We were a little bit upside down as to the amount of work that was done. But because we bought the money for the bleachers and not got any credit for that insurance money, and then we, spent, $67,000, on 10 for those 5 concrete shed rows, that were not insured. We're about $27,000, in the good right now. Again, we did spend $67,000 for 10, on insurance, on the 5 shed rows, the old cinder block shed rows that were not insured. And then we will have another discussion on that one. And
What if they should make the improvements on those shed roads?
well, to be total transparent, I guess we might as well just open the door. There's 5 shed rows there, that have asbestos. They have the concrete, shed rows. There's asbestos, they put tin on top of it. Those shed rows will have to be, the tin taken off and the asbestos removed. We've got a cost the first go round about $150,000, right, to remove it. We are going through the process right now of getting that price again. What we were told was that we won't be able to remove it. We'll have to have a contractor come out. Look, this is what he does, licensed in order to remove it and licensed to be able to dispose of it. You have several types, but the one that we have, in the report that we have was non-frayable. So, as long as you sit there and don't beat it and turn it into dust, then it doesn't pose a threat, that's what we were told. But at the point that you begin to disturb it and try to remove it from the building, then it becomes frayable. At that point, you have to have, once we get a bid, the process will be to encapsulate that whole shed row, remove the tin, remove the asbestos, and then dispose of it and clean that stuff up and put new tin down. We already have the new tin for all the 5 shed rows. So the cost now is going to be to put it down and, remove the asbestos.
$150,000 total?
That was the price that we received last year, was $150. When we set aside the $932,000, of insurance money to work at the fairgrounds, there was $150,000 in that proposal for asbestos. So that money was in the $932,000.
That'd be more.
I have no idea, probably. But again, it's the company that, and Douglas, you correct me if I'm wrong, it's a company that works with TAC. One of the companies they've recommended. So, and there's 5 shed rows and the pavilion, so the $150,000 would be to do the 5 shed rows and the pavilion. Any other questions? Okay. And like I said, I mean, we'd only done 2 buildings out of the buildings that were supposed to have been done out at the fairgrounds. One of them was the shed row back in the back, the middle one, the one that they poured concrete under for the equipment room, and then the other one was, the exhibition building. That one there, Commissioner, Nettleton's been real critical of the type of work, and then we had not, the gutter system was not done. The gutter system on that building will be, ordered, because it wasn't ordered, or the trim, the rake trim on the sides and stuff. So that will be replaced. Okay. Any other? No? Item 26, discussion and possible action on accounting of all funds expended by commissioners on food distribution. I put this item on the agenda. If we could get an accounting of all funds that we're spending, whether it be employees, gas or diesel. And the conversation I just had with Matt, I believe that what we're doing is illegal. So I'm going to ask Matt to look at this. If it is illegal, I'm asking him to do his job and remove this whole court. If it is illegal for us to be using those funds. I think we're circumventing, the intent of the road and bridge tax. And if that's what we've done, like I asked him a little while ago, he needs to have his job and to ask that every member of this court be removed from office.
Every member?
Every member. including myself.
You too, Jay?
I've been part of it, so I would ask that if we're gonna go down, we might as well all go down together and remove the whole court, and then have that process, move forward. Item 27, if y'all don't mind tabling that, and then have the ARPA committee come back.
Motion to table.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 28, discussion possible action on reporting to the state comptroller for the annual hotel occupancy tax. We got a letter that, we needed to do some filing and some reporting. There's some information missing. Ms. Garcia will be the one to handle this, or should be the one handling it. Matt said that he would help and do this. And then, if y'all don't mind, I'll give Mr. Rocha to help us with some forms and move forward with that also. So if y'all could just, allow us or make a motion that we contact Mr. Rocha to get some help and make sure that these forms are filled out properly.
Motion to approve the contact Mr. Rocha.
Have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Informational purposes on regional flood mapping, it's item 29, I'll read a little bit of it. She's actually asked, it's the Regional Flood Planning Group sets open house public meeting in Pecos, February 9th. If you have comments, we are part of that region. Participating in the planning process helps ensure flood mitigation projects, strategies, and priorities are represented in Upper Middle Rio Grande Regional Flood Plan, and ultimately, the 2023 State Flood Plan. Going forward, only the projects listed in the 2023, State Flood Plan are eligible for funding support through the Texas Water, Development Board, the TWDB Flood Infrastructure Fund. There's an address here. We will post it on our website, and we will post it on the bulletin downstairs. But if y'all have any input as to, what y'all would like to talk about on flooding or priorities or whatever, please contact them. Item 30, approve information security and privacy agreement, and TDHCA Community Resiliency Program grant application, and authorize county judge to sign.
Motion to approve and have the judge sign.
Second.
Motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 31, process update to Community Resiliency Program grant application, rehabilitation, community facility, Sam Houston School Building. Deadline January 19th. I think this one's in your precinct, Commissioner Ward, right? Which one's in yours? Sam Houston? Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you want to come up here so we can hear you, I don't know if we can hear you there or not. Okay, yeah. Whatever you want to do. You're the man with the plan.
Okay, just, right quick, you may recall, at the last meeting, y'all adopted a resolution to apply, after that meeting, Carlos and myself, the commissioners went out to both of the sites, Sam Houston and Carlos School, and, I want to thank, Carlos for, he put some numbers together, and so tomorrow's the deadline, wow, we're always working under pressure, but we did good. So, I brought the resolutions that were, adopted at the last meeting, but we didn't have the amount on there, okay?
Are these the numbers, Carl, that Carlos provided, this week or last week?
Yeah, for Sam Houston, the application's gonna be in the amount of $1,383,522.56. That's the rehab, the Sam Houston, old Sam Houston School, okay? And, anyhow, this resolution, if you want to get the one we had 2 weeks ago, I brought it, I just put the number in there, but anyhow, that.
We need authority to sign that one?
Sir?
Who signs it?
Yeah.
We sign it? Okay, so we need authority, a motion to approve it and, motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0 vote. And we'll put it up there right before we leave, we'll all sign it, Carl. Item 32, progress update on Community Resiliency Program Grant Application Rehabilitation Community Facility Cardwell School Building Deadline, January 19th. Always work good under pressure.
Here we go.
Yep.
Okay, same thing, I want to thank Carlos again, put some numbers together to rehab that facility. That application, request is in the amount of $2,008,955.67. And so same thing as that.
Need a motion, I think this one's in yours, Commissioner.
Is there a motion, Judge, to approve?
Motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Commissioner Flores, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 33, progress update on Texas CDBG contract number 7219085 Vega Verde, San Felipe Pastures, Rise Estate, Waterline Project, scheduled bid opening date.
Motion to approve.
Have a proposed date, you know, we have a kind of narrow window on this project, and executed material contract. And I'd like to recommend a bid opening date of March the 1st, that corresponds with Valverde County court meeting on that day, we have a bid opening at 2 o'clock. Second.
Motion to approve and, what date was that again?
March 1st.
March 1st, the, opening for bids.
Three separate bid packages.
Okay, hold on.
We have election day, March 1st.
Yeah, but we'll still have Commissioner's Court though. Yeah, it's not, I mean, we don't have the election downstairs, so. Right,
That's the one that's on the meeting.
Monday?
That's the one that's on.
So what are we using?
We're gonna have to.
We'll use this one.
At the
Oh,
end
yeah.
of the day,
Commissioner's Court will have to use, we'll check and see if we can have this one because they hold precinct 10 or whatever, right?
On 3-1.
either downstairs or in that conference room there.
Yeah, we can figure it out. You do the bid opening here, because they're gonna be having elections on March 1st.
If you're downstairs, the front steps, don't you do them that way, you know how they open
Or
their.
the holiday, conflict.
Well, let's look at a calendar before we get on. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, but I don't have on my calendar marked, Jesus Christ. Shit, I just locked up. So it's 18th, then we have another one on the 1st, one on the 15th, and then one on the 1st. So we'll have, but you're wanting to open bids at what time? And our Commissioner's Court's in the morning though.
So, we have a bid opening on the purchase department.
Okay, but are you gonna want us to take action on the bid opening or not?
Next meeting.
Then you're okay with that? Okay, so we're good. So we can have the bid opening at the purchasing department. Okay, and that's part of your motion at 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
Or March 1st, at the purchasing department at 2 o'clock.
And that'll be part of my motion.
That's simple enough. Okay, I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second. Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor?
Aye.
4-0 vote. Item 34, progress update on Texas CDBG 7220479 Alcoa Field Project. On that one there, I think we're going out for rebid again. I saw an email that we had packages.
Yeah, Thursday, we received the separate bid packages for the fencing, infield, lighting, anyhow, for the 4 different elements. We had considered opening bids the 28th of January. We just received those separate bid packages Thursday. Guess my question is, if that's gonna be enough time to get this information out to some prospective bidders.
Carlos? You think there'll be enough time to get it out? And when you sit on the 28th, you got a whole month. It's the 28th of this month.
Yeah, that's just, that'd be next Thursday. For one more week, better.
You want to push it back? Okay, give us a date, and we'll make a motion to move it on. What do you want? You're not helping me, Carl. I gotta look it up again. A week later, the 28th, will be on the February the 4th. All right, so we move it to February 4th. Okay, I need a motion to move it to February 4th at 2 o'clock at purchasing. Motion.
Motion.
Motion, Commissioner, Vasquez, second.
Second.
Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0 vote. Is that good, Carl? No, thank you, sir. Item 35, we've already done. Item 36, discussion possible action on $4.3 million, certificate of obligation. This is just to give y'all an update. On the 4.3, we have 3.1 left out of the 4.3. Our Frontera Road project is still ongoing, even though it's close to the end and we have finalized some of the dollars. We're still waiting on a couple of invoices and a couple of reimbursements from TechStop. We had spent somewhere around $300,000 on Odyssey to get out of Odyssey. So that money's already, come out of that 1.2 that we've already spent. Again, there is some funds there that were allocated, that we didn't do the projects again. Just trying to keep y'all updated. It will be brought back when we get our final numbers on Frontera Road. And then if y'all will be thinking of, what y'all would like to allocate those funds for. And we will have dollar amounts, the balance, remaining balance.
How much money, more or less, are we talking about?
We had talked, when we started off, we had done, about $2 million, and John, correct me if I'm wrong, about $2 million for Frontera, $1.3 million for Odyssey, and we'd set aside $1 million for, food distribution. So that's where we came up with the 4.3 million. The Odyssey, we do have a cost to get out of that was about 300,000. There's a little bit, might be a little bit higher, but using round numbers, I don't know exactly what off the top of my head. But it was right around 300,000. On Frontera Road, we had the 4.8 set aside for, 100. That one there is gonna come in.
Dr. Palau has left the conference.
Dr. Palau's left. That one was at 4.8. That contract came in about a little over $100,000 worth in savings. Yeah, if you want to come up. On Frontera Road, about $100 odd thousand left, that we had in savings on 100. Coastline came in right at the 400 and some odd thousand. And then got a little bit of money from, was it MNP or was it? M&G, a little bit of money left over. We're working on. Okay. And this is all part of the same 4.3 million in the balance.
So Carlos, we've got about $600,000 still available?
In general, we expect to have 600,000 in savings after we close out all the projects.
Judge, is there any way that we could use some of this money to pay the parking lot there at the Alcoa Fields?
What we can do is, once he comes up with the absolute final numbers, it's all in $1 amount. All that will be in $1 amount. So it'll be up to the court, to make a decision on what they would like to do with it. And that 600, what he's basing that off of is out of the $2 million that we set aside for that project. So, I think once he comes up with the final dollar amounts, for all of that, then you'll have a bucket of money that y'all can figure out what to do with. I know that part of this $4.3 million, we had set aside money for Odyssey. That also has changed, as in visiting with Matt a little while ago. Odyssey and IDOT, right?
Yeah, that's correct, it's
IDOT.
They are not ready to go, that was their proposal. But that is what's happening with the state. The state is taking cybersecurity seriously for small and medium-sized counties. They're offering a bare bones, court system, free of charge to counties to get the data offsite and secure those, two companies that you want procurement.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is because out of this 4.3, we're gonna have, again, a bucket of money left over, for the court to decide what is it that we wanna do with it. Part of this is what he just brought up is, the state before wasn't giving us anything. Now they're actually giving us funds and allowing these two companies to partner with us in order to put all this stuff in the cloud, so we don't have it, on site. So in doing that, part of the money that's left over, we might look at purchasing something in order to be able to use state funds to accommodate the rest of our process, right? But again, all that will be brought back to us, and then we'll make a decision on that, on those funds. Again, I just wanted to let y'all know where we were at on the dollar amount. With the amount of money that we set aside, I mean, if you'll look, I mean, it's worked out. I mean, it's really worked out. I want to thank Carlos and Tom and Gus and the court, but we've done a really good job with this project. Thank y'all so much, Tom and Carlos and Gus. I mean, y'all have, to have a project, a $5 million project can come, or a $4.8 million project can come a little over $100,000 under budget, and not be over budget, especially when we put in $500,000 in contingency for that one project. It's pretty impressive.
It was well managed, Judge, and,
It's unbelievable.
that's the reason why we got the savings.
Unbelievable. And I think, with us borrowing those funds and having that money left over, especially at the interest rate that we got, from, that one was Bank and Trust, if I'm not mistaken. People we bought the loan, that we borrowed the money from, I mean, with the interest rate that they gave us also was unbelievable. So, any other questions, and that'll be brought back when we get closer. Is there any questions on that one? There's no action to be taken unless y'all needed to. Item 37, discussion possible action on $3.9 million tax note. This one here, we bought, 2 dozers, paving equipment, some radios and some equipment for the sheriff's office. And then there was $500,000, there was a $2 million, set aside, $500,000 per precinct. So as a reminder, if y'all haven't already, looked into that, y'all do have $500,000. Looking at the accounts, it looks like all of y'all have already looked into it. But there was pretty much all the dollars that were set aside for that have either been spent or encumbered. So that 3.9, that was pretty much, already used up. Again, y'all did have $500,000 per precinct for equipment still left. Some of y'all have quite a bit left, some of y'all have already spent a bunch, but, either way, y'all will look into that and move forward with that. Anything else on that one? Again, we're gonna try to bring these, we'll bring these back to you, especially the 4.3, and then try to give an accounting of all the projects that we still have available and ongoing, and bring that back to y'all. Item 38, discussion possible action on reviewing county policy for, directions to naming private roads for 911 mapping system. This one here, the question was brought up. Evidently, we couldn't get, he's here. We couldn't get, addresses on a road that the county had not accepted, even if it was let's go back. We're not accepting the road, we are just accepting that the road is named X. And I think County attorney shaking his head up and down, so y'all have already looked at that, and it would not obligate us to,
Well, Judge, what I've been looking into, I've been trying to get in touch with Mr. McGonigal to see exactly how other precincts have implemented this one. Just because it seems like, for the Commissioners Court to pass, an order on this is going to require us to build up a pretty good set of, essentially guidelines about how we would accept this process to be done. Because there's some counties that essentially, they'll say it's, everybody who lives on that individual road has to be total consensus. Every single person needs to say, yes, that's the name we want. And then there's some places where we would allow 2/3 of the residents that live on the road to adopt the road's name. But I was thinking that Mr. McGonigal's here could basically explain this process a little bit better to the board.
Good morning. I've had a few conversations, I've had the opportunity to speak with, what was your name?
John.
John, and a chance to speak with him directly. I have chatted with Carlos. Just to give some context, maybe for some understanding, we've come across a couple of roads, going back a little bit, we've had requests for address for folks. By the way, I'm from the 911, I'm with the Rio Grande 911, I do the mapping component of the 911 system, which in addition, part of that is we make sure the addresses are accurate. So folks come to us to verify address. So we've had a few applications for requests for address, and when I get to the point of where I've located the property, we discovered that there are no named roads there as far as the map is concerned. And then we discovered that these particular areas, this one area in particular, there's others, so there's this one, that were subdivided sometime in the past, maybe decades ago. And there are roads there that exist on the ground, but there's no actual land. There's multiple landowners that are using these same roads to get to their property. The problem is, if there isn't a name, there's no way to get addresses. So it becomes a road, it can't be ranged for addresses and addresses given to the landowner. So the dilemma that was presented to me when chatting with Carlos and what John just stated is, it looks like maybe if the landowners are deciding on a road name, it's going to be challenging because you have to have everyone's input, and that might be a problem. So what I suggested is another solution perhaps for these existing subdivisions that have already been in place where you have this problem. I think for new ones coming along, we can bypass the problem by having some process in place that requires a road name to be submitted and at least recognized by the county. But for all the subdivisions that are already there, it's already a road, no name. Early on in the mapping component for 911, there was a lot of roads that just, were used, but there were no actual names given. So I'm not sure how exactly it was put together, but I think this is 20 plus years ago, that the 911 Commission and the counties came up with a way of naming private roads. They literally call them private roads with a 4-digit number. So there are some roads in Boundary County that have that distinction, have a private road name, private road and a 4-digit number. And there is a logic to it, there's a schema to it. So I think what might work for a situation like this where there's existing roads, where you bypass having to engage all the landowners, we could just say, okay, we can call these private road this and private road that, and I think that would satisfy everyone's need, the county's need, our need. It gives the landowners a road name and then the ability to get an address. Now, maybe going forward, with other subdivisions, I know some of these land subdivisions aren't platted and recorded. I understand there's some mechanism in the county that allows landowners to do that. There needs to be something there that allows the county to know that there's a road that exists, that it has a name, and that we need to know what that name is. Because you're going to run into this problem again. So even though the county may have this process that allows landowners to subdivide the land however they see fit, put their own roads in, that's fine, but they at least need to have some requirement to say, okay, we're subdividing our land, and we're selling by means and bounds, or however they're doing it. When we have these two roads, and these are the names we want, that's fine. They can submit those names to us, we can check the database and make sure they're not duplicates. Because you don't want duplicates in your system. Duplicates lead to problems in an emergency situation. You have two roads with the same name. So, to recap, existing roads that have been around a long time with no name, I think probably to resolve dilemmas, will assign it a private road and name, private road, with the 42 number that corresponds. And then whomever calls in at that point in time for those pieces of land will be given an address off of that private road. Does that make sense? Is it too wordy?
It's wordy, but I mean, that's, the right road to take, if they're private, they gotta be named by whoever lives down there owns that road, and their county will take care of it.
So what I've seen in the past in other counties, and I know this is, I don't know if it's maybe a Texas thing, or that allows counties, that allows folks who own land to divide their land however they want if it's over a certain size. There is, just some, this California, that's the only one, we have this channel in other places. So if there's something that's happening in the beginning, some landowner's gonna divide their land, and they're gonna sell it, they're gonna put roads in, they at least just say, these are the road names we want. Just like the platted subdivisions do, you guys get the platted subdivisions, they have road names on them, but those, developers have done is they've submitted that to us. We've looked at the road names to make sure they're not duplicates, and then hand it back off to them and say, you're good to go. Then they come and do their stuff here and get everything approved. And I know that's a platted situation, but the unplatted ones, if they at least say, here's our road names. We've already gone to 911, they said there's no duplicates, these are the roads we want. And okay, well, we recognize those roads. That way the county knows, the sheriff knows, all the first responders know that this road exists, so if they get a phone call, they're gonna be able to see it and know where to go. That's the main concern, really. I mean, it is true that secondarily, the addresses are used for lots of other things. You know, voter registration and license and all those things we use our address for. However, our mission and our focus is to make sure that when they dial 911, they can get the county services that they're expecting to receive. You know, law enforcement, fire, and EMS. So, if you're a landowner in the county, they already have an expectation that they're getting these services if they dial 911, but if we don't know the road's there, we don't know where they're at, we can't do that. That's the whole purpose of having the road name in place.
So at the end of the day, we're nowhere close to making a motion in order to get this thing done. We still need the process.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And I can get with Carlos and we can try to figure out how many roads we're looking at assigning these potential private road 4-digit numeric codes to. And we can let you guys know exactly how many we're looking at.
So I mean, if the three of y'all will get together, or whatever, and then try to bring it back to the courts, or, you know, we need to have a motion and take a vote on something, we can get that done. Does that work?
And I'd rather by the sheriff, we bring it to court.
That's gonna be a thing.
You know, every foot is counted.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to get the sheriff's they are the ones that know.
Okay, so y'all just bring it back to us? That work? Any other questions, folks? No? We're good? Item 39, discussion of possible action of approval of iPub Works computer software and service agreement with tracking applications plus support services for precinct 3 crews and possible grant of a grant authority for county judge to sign iPub Works. I just don't sound right, iPub Works computer software and services agreement in the amount of $11,950 for 1 year to be paid from court determined account. Tom, you talked to both?
Yes, sir.
He said,
Operated.
take it out of his operating?
His operating.
Okay, I need a
Motion to
motion.
approve.
I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye, 5-4-0 vote. Item 40, discussion possible action of approval to allow the USDA to proceed with construction project to mitigate drainage issue at 1,582 Senegas Road, and possible grant of authority for county judge to sign a letter approving the alteration of county property. Commissioner Flores, this is also on that piece of property where you're working on some type of lease agreement?
Yes, sir. It's in those 5 acres, but, I've been notified by, Mr. John, our assistant county attorney, to table this item. They're working on something where they're gonna include this in their lease agreement. Yes, sir.
Your motion to table?
Motion to table.
Motion to table, Commissioner Flores. Second,
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4-0 vote, sorry. Item 41, discussion possible action of approval to request assistance from Texas Department of Transportation for severe damage of Quarry Lane and Las Vacas Road as a result of torrential rain and flooding that occurred in 2018, declaration of disaster. This is the one that y'all been working on. Y'all have already done environmental and something else, right? So y'all have.
Yes, sir.
What else y'all need?
On Party Lane, all we're lacking is, striping. We already paved the road, and, we need, for Texas to come down and give the final approval, but, the one that we're still lacking some work is Las Vacas Road. We still gotta pave it and stripe it, and.
So the motion though would be for Quarry Lane and Las Vacas Road?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a motion? Is that a motion? So who made it?
Yes, motion to approve the request.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second. Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 42, discussion possible action on update of ongoing county projects. He's got a long list, and maybe we can keep them short. There you are. Did you bring copies?
Commissioners, I have a,
Yeah, we're not going to see it, right? Where's that?
you're not able to see on that, you, the last screen, so I have this on your desk. The first one will be the Sondera Road. Sondera Road, all the invoices that we received from Hunter, they are paid. All the money that we were able to request tax fund is already requested. We're only missing 2 out of the 10 drafts for the total of pending extra money of $584,000. We pretty much closed out the contract with Hunters, the contract with Coastline, the contract with MEG for the lab test and geotest, and we're missing invoices from Dynamo for the close out on the actual. As of today, we are 100% complete on the construction, using 53% of the time. Run the numbers, we're looking at to expect savings on the CO for $603,000. We're still missing numbers from Lanbam, but we're looking into the real savings on that. And then we have other projects. I have this list that we've been working with. The first one is the district. On that one, we are currently building a list of all the street names and addresses that change from one district to another. The next one will be the ROU study. From this one, we received classification statements from companies. One of them is Matrix Group, and the other one is Static. And they will be presented to you on item. Melissa will be presenting that two payments, and it was for last Friday, last Thursday. Other project that we have going on the base is the ARPA line. That's, on the first round of bids, we received no bids. That was last month. And we're shooting for another both dates for the bid opening on February 23rd. The next project also related to the base is the P1 Sunshine. On that one, we have done the design specification scope of work, and we just received last week a letter from acceptance from the Department of Air Force that we can start the procurement of this project. On the federal side, they're done the 3 roads, and now we're building another 2 roads. We're currently shooting to get a GSA contract for the design bid build for the other 2 sunshades. The next one will be a co-op project. On that one, we're gonna have another round of bids on February 4th. Also, another project, we've been working with the shooting range at the SC Ranch. On this one, we selected a company for the architectural and engineering drawings, but we were missing a contractor, so Mr. Esser is working on a couple of contracts that we're candidates.
Carlos, how much land does this include on the shooting range?
It's for close to 40 acres.
40?
Out of the SC Ranch.
Okay.
And then another project is the waterline project at the SC Ranch. On this one, we have a preliminary part created. We have meetings with the city of Del Rio and the company that's doing all the contracting with the National Guard, Texas National Guard, and that company's called Water Services. And now we're pending their approval to see if they could proceed with the layout of the pipes. We're talking about an estimated linear footage of 12,000 to get to the shooting range and to the base camp. It's coming from city land. Next, we have the hail damage roof repairs. I have a list of all the buildings that are already fixed, and to that list we have the county storage building at La Jolla. We have the Valverde Women's Center, now adult probation, the Doctor Research Center at the Whitehead Museum. We have Juvenile Center, Dean Water Building, Church Building, Community Center at Cinemas, Women's Shelter at Benita Lane, and Animal Control at Terra Blanca. All of those are already prepared. We are missing 2 sites, which is the county courthouse. We do have the permit from the Texas Historical Commission to proceed, and that contract has been awarded to Fairgrounds, and we're in the process of the repair. The other side that we're not done fixing is the county library. On that one, we received damage from the coping that's on top of the carpet walls, and we discovered that those coupings were embedded into the stucco. So since they only have aesthetic damage, if we decide to repair it, we need to take out a lot of stucco. So it's kind of complicated. The other side is the county Fairgrounds that we're currently working with.
One question for you.
Yes, sir.
As far as the bid, for the project of town.
Okay, so some of them, we're going to wait, and we put it on the county website and put it on the newspaper. Some other of them, we just do on the and some of the other ones, we work on.
We don't have to.
For the record.
The next one will be, do you have any questions on?
We're in process right now, repair on this.
This one, yes, sir. we're in the process, we all have already worked with a company.
Where you at, Carlos? Award to what company?
That's part of the
Okay, on which project?
for
This one? The roof. Okay.
What's the amount on
On this, it's 180,000.
But we have still some funds available in case it goes over, and then we have, recoverable depreciation also.
Right. Looks like my roof.
The next project that I'm currently working with, the Fairgrounds master plan. On that one, working on the airport and drainage plan, and I have done all the field work on that.
There's no need for that one anymore.
Other project is the 78 detention part on the detention part on the north side of, City of Del Rio. And we're working on the design and the area delineation. And
That one will actually be in, if that one moves forward, it'll be in Commissioner True's precinct, Commissioner Vasquez's precinct. That's the one in Larson. The retention tanks, that would help with, the 20 acres, the 60 acres, Barley, just church, Happy, Ohio, and all that. So.
One of them, the soccer field, on that one, we're missing the leveling out of the ground. So we have this space over. Everyone's working on getting quotes from contractors for per hour rentals of the equipment. We also have routine verification of megawatt fencing. They come like every other week or every week to check on the right of way. And we have the county road on Lanzo Rio, which is the Gas Street. On that one, the owners are working on a small state to proceed, and we're pending getting leaps and bounds on surveyor seal, sending out letters to everyone who's on the road. Also have Lawson Drive overs. On that one, we're pending the FEMA approval and the order to meet Walmart, and we're pending the have any questions?
Like a lot, right? The projects, also, the ones, I guess you went over the ones for Laughlin, and then we got from Laughlin, you went over all that?
Yes, we do have two additional.
Yeah, so, there's over $8 million that we've applied for, and, we've gotten somewhat approval to move forward with, just out of Laughlin. Two other projects that, last week, I guess Thursday, right? You wanted to tell them about those also?
Okay, so we got an award, last week on two additional projects. One of them is for the PC space for one of the buildings, and that's for 800,000 pretty much. And then we have the other AC on one of the buildings for an additional 1.4 million. That happened last week. We're working on the agreement.
So all those, the projects that he listed, plus those two, they're over $8 million worth of projects that we will have ongoing out at Laughlin. Those dollars, as they come in, everything's come before the court to get approval in order to move forward. Those dollars, we will have to spend some money up front in order to get them going, but they're all reimbursable. We good? Any questions on 42? No?
No questions.
Item 43, discussion possible action on Laughlin T1 Sunshines projects. It had gone out. There's a company that wants a letter, somewhat of a letter of intent that they can't proceed because they have to draw basically they need to submit the drawings for their own project and to be approved. This is a company that's already done sunshades in other areas. So if we could get authority to to get them a letter as long as we pass everything through our county attorney, or through the county attorney's office, stipulating that they do have the right to move forward and, begin the design of the project. But, we will need help from our county attorney's office to draft that letter and to make sure that I don't get us in trouble unless you give them too much authority. But I will need authority to, sign a letter to let them move forward as long as the county attorney reviews and prepares.
Motion,
Who made motion?
Commissioner Warner.
You gonna second?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Wardlaw made the motion, Commissioner Vasquez the second. All those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 44, approval to solicit request for proposal for professional service to manage the county's four-year contract with TPHCA Self-Help Center. This is something that is overlapped, and we need to go out again for proposals. Have a motion?
Motion, Judge.
Have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
4-0 vote. Item 45, discussion possible action to allocate $6,659.33 from an appropriate fund at the court's discretion to capital outlay for the 63rd Judicial Courtroom audio and video equipment purchase for BIS Digital. We had set aside $41,000 for the judge's courtroom, and we were $6,659.33 short in order to get him pretty much, I guess, the same stuff as what we have here, audio and visual.
That's what we have at the other court.
Yeah.
So the money's available.
Out of contingency.
Oh, okay. I'll make a motion that we take this money out of contingency.
Second that, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 46, discussion possible action to purchase a van for purchasing department and to trade in a 2018 Ford F-150. Those are the numbers of the VIN number. This truck was the truck that, health department had, that we were giving to building maintenance, not building maintenance, that we're giving to purchasing. Purchasing has now said that they want a van, because to haul paper, whatever, then it's not in the open. The vans are running about 50,000, if we could get, if we could set aside out of contingency, and then we can come back later and figure out how we're gonna, if we need to move money back in again, but, probably need around 30,000, because what we got for the trade-in on this truck is right around 25, so we're gonna keep it under 50,000. We set aside 30.
I'll make a motion to approve this purchase and set aside $30,000 from contingency.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 47, approval to add a new account to our UniFirst contract for adult probation's new location at 239 Farm Road 2523.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 48, discuss possible action to approve the purchase a light bar and grill guard to add to a risk management unit truck with appropriate funds at the court's discretion. We'd set aside $35,000 to purchase a truck for, the health department. The truck came in at $32,000 and change. If we could have authority, whatever the difference was between what the truck came in at and the $35,000 for a grill guard and light bar, those funds have already been set aside. All we need is approval to be able to use them.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second.
Second.
Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 49, discussion possible action on the selection committee's results regarding the professional services of compatible use study. I think, did y'all get y'all's sheet? It was, it says RFQ compatible use study professional services evaluation results. Did they get? Yeah. Matrix came in, a little bit higher. This was a company that was actually used for the last compatible use study. So they have experience. The committee did recommend Matrix, and they have already formed a committee in order to begin negotiations. So if we could get a motion to begin the negotiations with Matrix. Anybody, who made the motion? Commissioner Wardlaw?
Second.
Commissioner Wardlaw made a motion, Commissioner Vasquez seconded it, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 50, approval to declare the following items as surplus property and designate for proper disposition. Disposition may include but not limited to auction, reassign, recycle, and/or destroy. Lights and ballast from the courthouse, 2005 Dodge Ram 1500, a 2007 Chevrolet Tahoe, a 2009 Ford Crown Victoria, 2009 Ford Crown Victoria, 2003 Ford E350, 2009 Ford Crown Victoria, 2009 Dodge Charger, 2009 Dodge Charger, 2010 Chevrolet Tahoe, 2011 Chevrolet Tahoe, 2011 Chevrolet Tahoe, 2011 Ford Crown Victoria, and a red trailer with material. Commissioner Wardlaw, y'all, the black trailer that y'all have there, the one that we couldn't get a VIN number, Sheriff, ask the sheriff to see if he could take care of that. We got a title on, Friday to that black trailer. You had already designated it as surplus before, but we couldn't get a VIN number. Would you like to add that trailer to this?
I'd like to put that on there.
Okay.
Did the sheriff tell us about the possession of those trailers?
We can talk about that when we come back on that. That work?
You bet.
But we'll add that black trailer that the title will be provided to Melissa. That trailer has been already struck off. We just couldn't go through the process because we couldn't find the title.
Please do.
Who made the motion?
I'll make a motion, yes.
Commissioner Vasquez made the motion.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 51, discussion of possible action on assignment of 9 Dell 2-in-1 notebooks that were purchased for the use of digitizing agendas and supporting documents for the Commissioners Court. I don't know, I know Commissioner Nettleton wanted one, and this would help y'all in getting y'all's information, your backup information. That way y'all wouldn't have to do so much paperwork. If each one of y'all want one, that would be 4. I know that purchasing had also asked for one, that would be 5. If you want to get started with those 4 commissioners in purchasing, Matt, do you need one? You're good? Or you want one? You want one?
Yeah, I heard that right.
Okay, 6. That took care of 6 of them. If you, 7? Okay. So if y'all don't mind, before commissioners, purchasing, auditor, and the attorney's office.
I'll make a motion to approve, guys.
All right, that'll work. And it's the 4 commissioners, purchasing, auditor, and attorney's office. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second? Second. Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? I'm gonna write that down, that way. Guess I'm gonna write it or I can read it. Okay, item 52. All those in favor, did I take a vote? I did. All those in favor? Aye, I'm gonna take it twice. Item 52, discussion possible action on the use of county fields for softball and baseball practices. The way we've done it before, they would go through and just set up a schedule there through the fairgrounds with the secretary, and she would put together a schedule. I guess we just need y'all's approval to make sure that that is still the way y'all want to do it.
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. 4-0 vote. Yes, sir.
One question about that, Judge. So in order for us to get those fields for practice, we go back.
If you will go to the fairgrounds, call her and what she'll do, she'll put you on a schedule.
And that would be for the four fields?
It'll be for all fields. Yeah, I can tell you what's done in the past is that if you would call the fairgrounds, they'll put you on a schedule. Even the 9 fields that are at the 60 acres, I know we've already had people that have asked for the property, there at the fairgrounds, a couple of fields there at the fairgrounds, and the one in the infield that was cleaned off. So if whoever needs to use the fields, if they will go to the fairgrounds and get with the secretary, she will put you on a schedule for county fields. That work? All right. Item 53, discussion possible action on lease agreement between Valverde County and the following: the George Palm Memorial Bull Riding. Let's do one at a time. The George Palm Memorial Bull Riding and the George Palm Memorial, and the office. We usually do that, in one deal. The dates, we'll bring the dates up, but we do need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve the lease for the office and the event. And I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, and seconded Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Jay Gonzalez, item C, the morning of the 22nd anniversary to be used, April 2nd, 2022. Bobby, your event, the rodeo the bull riding is what day?
Excuse me, the last weekend in April, Friday and Saturday, right?
Okay, so it's the last weekend in April then?
Yes.
Okay, so the event on, April 2nd should not, should not affect it. So do I have a motion to use the property?
Motion to, use the property.
On the last field where that's, like, market for safety,
What we'll do is we'll make sure that they don't plant anything in that center field or on those fields the day of your event. Yeah, and that's usually what happens in the past. All right? I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second.
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Jay Gonzalez, border pit battle, 9/23/2022 and 9/24/2022. Have a motion to accept.
Motion.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second.
Second, Judge.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 54, discussion possible action authorizing Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to sign the Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force, for 2022 agreement.
Motion to approve, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 55, approve human resource report from January 5th, 2022 through January 18th, 2022.
Move.
Juanita, everything's good?
Yes, sir.
No questions? Nothing? Okay, I have a motion, Commissioner, Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 56, I already took care of that one. Item 57, closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code A 551.071, parentheses 2, attorney-client privilege, B 551.071, parentheses 1, parentheses A, contemplated litigation, C 551.072, regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property and possible action in open session thereafter, D 551.073, regarding a negotiated contract, lease, and value of real property, and possible action in open session thereafter. If we'll take a little 5-10 minute break, and then what we'll do is, Commissioners, if y'all don't mind, we can go to that room next door, and I'll ask the lady who'll do it. Are we good when you get those signed right now?
Please. Yeah, sign them right now. I can go back.
You say when, Steve?
Good, Judge.
Good? Yes. Gordon, I'll come back into session. It's 11:30. No action was taken, in the executive session. We have an agreement, a lease agreement with, AEP to provide an easement between, the telephone pole there on 2523 and the processing center. That lease agreement is with the county attorney. If I could get approval to sign that agreement for them to use the easement after review by the county attorney.
Motion to approve, Judge, for you to sign after review by the county attorney.
I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second. Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Item 58, Commissioners' comments. Item 59, judges' comments. I'm going to apologize for my outburst, do not apologize for what I said, but for the outburst, I should do a better job of controlling my temper. And for that, I do apologize. Not what was said, but for the way I said it. Any other comments, any other action? If not, then this meeting is adjourned. Well, have a great day.